day to everyone, and welcome to the webinar today. My name is Corey DeYoung. I'm with TigerPaw Software. I'm the Director of Marketing here. I want to welcome you all to today's webinar, The Best Day in the Life of a Service Manager. I would also like to welcome our presenter, Jeff Hughes. Jeff Hughes has been with TigerPaw for over 20 years, spent time in our training and education department, and currently holds the role of sales engineer. Jeff is an expert here internally at TigerPaw, and we'll be showing you some of the high-value benefits for our service management folks today. If you would like to ask any questions, please feel free to use the questions box on the right side of your screen, the GoToWebinar app, and we will get those answered at the end of the session. Thanks again to Jeff for presenting today. Take it away.
Thank you, Corey. Again, welcome everyone. It's my pleasure to be here talking with you today about TigerPaw. TigerPaw really is an organization that's a family-owned business for over 32 years. We have over 40,000 users. We are a U.S.-based company. We're located right outside of Omaha, Nebraska, and our focus is not so much selling software as it is improving efficiency of our customers with an all-in-one solution. Now, many companies come to us, and they're typically in an environment where they're using multiple applications, trying to get everything done that they need to get done to do their day-to-day processes. So they may have one software doing maybe their CRM, something else to manage their marketing, something else doing their service ticketing. But these things don't speak to one another. And that's the big difference with the TigerPaw solution. We're an all-in-one solution. So if you sell the product, if you install that product, service it, provide managed services against it, put it under contract, invoice against those products, track your customer's inventory and yours, and want mobile connectivity, that's what TigerPaw does. But today we're going to talk about one aspect of TigerPaw. We're going to talk about the day in the life of a service manager. True, we are an all-in-one solution, but we're going to focus in on this one aspect of what TigerPaw offers. So this is the life of a service manager. Typically, your day could begin by coming in and looking at the service orders that came in through your email queue. You could view these service orders to see exactly what was reported as things needing to get done on this given day. Maybe a matrix view of service orders by a particular technician. Here I can see by technician how many open orders each technician has. It's just a filtered matrix view of service tickets. I may have another matrix view showing my service orders that are open across all technicians. I want to see everything that's out there that has not been addressed. That's the power of the matrix. It allows you to have different views of what it is you need to see, and it lets you pull in the data elements that you need to view to get your job done. Now, service tickets can come in a variety of ways. We have a customer portal where your customer could log in and create a service ticket. Maybe they use the email connector. They send you an email. That creates a service ticket. Maybe they place a call to you, and someone takes a call and creates a service ticket. Managed services through an alert could create a service ticket. These tickets are going to end up on the dispatch board. As they come in, they end up on the bottom of this form as a ticket coming in, and here you can dispatch a tech by dragging and dropping it on the technician you wish to assign it to. Now, once the ticket's assigned, the engineer working the ticket would more than likely use their mobile device to work the ticket. We have apps for both the iOS and for the Android, and they both work exactly the same, and they both work perfectly. So I could come in and view my calendar, my scheduled events, my to-dos, my sales calls. Maybe I need to make a sales call for a client, manage my service tickets, or update a project task. This is the agenda view. This would be what you would see on your agenda if you logged in through your smartphone, and you can see you have 3 things on your agenda on this given day to do. Now, as you look at one of those entries on your agenda, this is what it looks like. Here you see the address you're going to, the customer's name, their phone number, and their email address. Notice these are hyperlinked. If I were to tap in the area where the address is, I would see a map with instructions on how to get to the customer site. If I tap on where the phone number is, that would dial their phone. I could let them know I'm on my way. I could also send them an email. I have access to the customer service history, usernames and passwords. I can also open up the camera and take pictures. This also gives me the opportunity to capture my travel time and my on-site work time as well. Once I head out to a customer site and I get there, I can track my mileage, whether I want to enter it in as a whole number here, or I may also, if I wish, add a beginning odometer reading and an ending in TigerPaw will calculate my total mileage. I can update my work performed, internal comments. I have access to all my time entries. I can add expenses and my parts used. Now, I can update these fields since they're text fields by entering this in. I can hand key this information in if I choose, but since my phone supports dictation, I can speak the detail and TigerPaw will convert that to text. For some of these long-winded operations that we're doing out here, rather than me typing it in, I can certainly speak it in a lot quicker than I can type it. Now, when tickets come in on the dispatch board and they're assigned to a technician, the dispatcher can see at a glance if the technician is en route to that location if you're using TigerPaw's mobile. Notice the little blue truck. As I head to the customer site, that turns that truck on so that the dispatcher can see at a glance I'm en route to that location. Now when I get to that site, that truck icon will turn into a little red-handled wrench so the dispatcher can see at a glance that I am at that site doing work for that customer. I have access to my customer's password. This is the password vault. I can see usernames and passwords of the customer's equipment. If I have security permissions, I can add a password or edit a password, or if I'd like, I can let TigerPaw create me a password as well. Now, if you've ever walked into a server room that it looks like it had been ransacked and maybe you should call 911 and report a burglary, you might want to take a picture of that. You might want to take several pictures. Take a before picture, an after picture after you've done your magic. This links those pictures as linked documents at the customer record back in the desktop. When you're all completed with this order, capture a customer's signature. They can sign this right on the phone. They could use a stylus or just sign it with their finger. You've captured electronic signature as authorization the customer has accepted this service and you've performed this work. Now, when I get back to the office, maybe I want to update my customers' assets that are being managed by AVG Managed Workplace. This reaches out to AVG, pulls in those active assets, and updates my agreement. So all the items are absolutely up to date. I don't do this manually. TigerPaw does this with their integration with AVG. While we're talking about that, this is the AVG agreement. This is a option to let you do your automated billing. We'll turn this into a recurring billing model for you. You define the billing period. What day of the month do you want TigerPaw to create the invoice? And do you want TigerPaw to process a payment as a credit card or ACH? The nice thing is that before TigerPaw creates the invoice for this billing, it reaches out to AVG Workplace, pulls in these assets, updates your agreement pricing for you so that everything is up to date and current before TigerPaw creates the invoice and emails it over to your customer. Here's the timesheets view. You need to approve technician time before it goes on to billing. Here, as a manager, I can approve time. I can look at a particular tech. We're looking at Lynn Fox here on this given day on Monday. I can see all the time entries that Lynn has put in on the service tickets. Now, I have an option to approve these. If I click on the little green thumbs up, that approves that. It now locks it so the technician can no longer change it. But if I have a question regarding this particular time entry, I can question it. That sends an email back to the technician letting them know that I'm questioning this time entry. They then can make adjustments and resubmit this for my approval. Now, if I wish, I have the management credentials. I can adjust these if I choose from here as well. So I can adjust the time. I can make adjustments if I wish, having the proper credentials to do so. Now, if there's any reason that I need to review a service ticket, maybe there's a customer inquiry, or maybe it's on my own internal inquiry, there may be certain things and times that I need to review a service ticket and see all the detail that's taken place. Here's a service order, and I can get into what we call the service order notes. These are the date and timestamp notes. TigerPaw updates this as status changes. So no matter who's worked on the ticket, how many different statuses this has gone through during the course of its life history, I can see exactly what happened during those changes, all date and timestamps, and listed by the rep or the technician that's done the work. So here I have the entire story if I need to see what's happened, who's touched this order, who's been involved with it, and each step it's gone through to go through its process. So here I have that entire history. I can see everything that's gone on. Now, customers can be under contract. I don't have to go look them up to see if they're under contract. TigerPaw will automatically attach that to my order. In this case, I can see this customer hasn't had a contract with us for quite some time. Maybe it's a good idea for me to set a task for have one of my sales reps to call this customer and see if we can get them under some sort of contract. Maybe they'd like to save some money and get them under a contract and not have to pay for these one at a time when they have us out for service. Now, there is over 600 predefined reports that come shipped with the core product as TigerPaw ships today. Now, these reports are for statistical information, your performance indicators, but here we're looking at a report showing service orders that were closed the same day as received. Maybe you want to see reporting on types of trending. I want to see what types of service orders are we getting, maybe last year to this year, or maybe by a date range. Maybe by date range, I want to see what types of orders are we getting versus that same date range a year ago. I might want to see estimated versus billable contract hours. All this information comes in predefined reports that come automatically shipped with TigerPaw, all done through Crystal Reports, which means if you wish, you're able to modify these reports if you choose. If you have a licensed copy of Crystal, you're welcome to modify any of our 600+ reports, create reports on your own. We also provide that as a service if you want us to do it rather than you doing it yourself. So what happens in a TigerPaw solution is you have one workflow automation engine, one interface, one database, one training and implementation, and one place to call for support. Now remember, we've only talked about one aspect of TigerPaw. This is for the service manager. It's the same option if you were talking about the sales manager or someone managing your parts inventory. We have all of this information in a TigerPaw solution. We are a 360-degree view option of what you've done with your customer, whether it's sales-related, installation, project management, managed services contracts, inventory control, all in one place. And we can also feed your accounting information over to keep your accounts receivable and your general ledger up to date as well. If any of this information has looked interesting to you and you'd like more information on this, please reach out to TigerPaw and talk to one of our sales representatives for more information. And if you'd like to get into a demo to go into more detail on these types of functions that we've talked about here briefly today, we'd be more than happy to do that with you. So at this time, I'd like to open this up for some questions. So Corey, have you got any questions out there?
Yep, nobody's entered any questions in yet. Again, if anybody wants to ask any questions, go ahead and type them in the questions box in the right hand. Just expand that in your GoToWebinar application and ask some questions.
So while we're waiting for some questions, one of the things I might mention to you, if you're looking at maybe automating and you're looking for a solution, one of the big things that comes up is, what about implementation? Well, TigerPaw has put a lot of resources together for implementation, and I think we have a unique way to implement our customers. Number one, you're assigned an implementation coordinator, and that person's job is designed to help you through the implementation process. Number one, making sure that you have all the information you need, whether that information is documentation, what videos you should watch, the checklist of items that you need to complete at the point in time you need to complete them. We do what we call, I like to refer to it as kind of a part-time implementation, because here's the point. We understand that you cannot shut down your business and implement, you have to carry on day-to-day business. So that being known, what we do is we've broken down our process into small bite-sized segments so that you're not trying to be overwhelmed with doing a whole lot of implementation all at one time. So if you follow our process, and we would certainly suggest that you do, we're going to have you do small bite-sized pieces to get you up and running on the basics first, so then you can implement some of the bells and whistles that TigerPaw offers going forward, but that way you can carry on day-to-day business as you're going through the implementation process. So a lot of people ask us, well, how much time do I have to put into this implementation in a given day? Do I have to assign a resource to this full time? No, you do not. If you can give us a resource that can give us 2 hours a day of a 5-day week, that fits right into our wheelhouse. Now, if you have resources that you can supply to us that you can give us more than 2 hours a day, all that's going to do is shorten your implementation cycle. But if you can give us 2 hours a day of a resource for implementation, that fits right into our process. So we don't want to tie up somebody 24/7 on this. We know they have other things they have to do. Typically, we're trying to get people up and implemented in this environment. You should be looking at this in somewhere in a 40 to 60-day period to have you up and running in the basic process from beginning to end within a TigerPaw solution. Now, that's not just service. That's CRM, service, sales, inventory. That's the whole thing. So, again, more resources you can provide, certainly the shorter it will be. Now, what do you have going forward? You have a whole bank of videos to watch as far as what videos do your technicians need to see, what videos do sales reps, so they're job-specific videos for people to learn how to do the things within TigerPaw. We have a learning management system. Log on to our website. Individuals can take courses. They can take tests and become certified on the pieces of TigerPaw they need to learn. So it's like an online course that they can take to help them learn. Every day at 1 o'clock Central Time, we have an Ask the Expert session where anyone within your organization can log in and be on a go-to-meeting session with a trainer and ask any questions they want, as well as anyone in your company being able to pick up the phone, dial an 800 number, and be online with a support technician here in Omaha, Nebraska to help them with whatever issue they may have or whatever question they may have regarding TigerPaw. So we have lots of tools and lots of things in place to help you get implemented in the shortest amount of time. We're invested in your success. It's a partnership with us. So it isn't just here, thanks for the money, there's the software, see you down the road. We're in this with you. We want to make sure that you're successful, and we've put a lot of effort and a lot of time in the tools to make this happen and make it easy for you. So that kind of gives you an idea on the implementation side. How are we doing on any questions, Corey?
We've got some. Howard is asking what the pricing model is and what tools do we have to come from another product. So if they're moving from Autotask or ConnectWise, what do they need to consider?
Well, the pricing, we want to have you talk with a TigerPaw representative. I'm not much good on the pricing, as you well know, Corey, but we have several ways to buy TigerPaw, whether you want to do it in a software as a service, whether you want to buy it outright. So we give you several options that we feel that will fit into whatever your billing parameters, your parameters are for wanting to purchase software. So we give you options. You should certainly talk to a TigerPaw representative to get the pricing. As far as the tools required, there's a couple of things. We do include with TigerPaw an import utility, which you can import your customer base, you can import your price list, you can import your customers' assets that they have at their site. Also, you can import some service history, although it's somewhat abbreviated, but you can bring in service history. Now, if you're looking for data conversion, we also do that here as a service. We typically can take the database. We normally, on the data conversion, want to take a look at the database the data is coming from so we can get an idea of, do we have any problems? What data is going to be able to come in? Is there data that we can't get in? And we want to review that with you before we go down that process. So again, speak with a TigerPaw representative and they can help you with getting an estimate on what that might take for us to do a conversion to get data out of an application that's in, if you want us to bring it in, or whether you can export it out of whatever application it is and you can import it in with our documentation and our utility to do it on your own if you wish. So we have the documentation and the support help to do that, whether you want us to be involved with it or whether you want to do it on your own. We have both options available.
Thank you, Jeff. There's some various questions on integrations, and we'll be sending an update email to everyone as well that includes some links and a recording of this event. Also, we'll be having someone from our sales group contacting you. So if you need to ask specific questions about some integrations, they'll have the answers to you. They'll have the full list. We have a huge list of integrations. But real quickly, I'd see there's a question about QuoteWorks, QuickBooks, Sage, IT Glue. I know we've just engaged IT Glue. I know they're in the phase of writing to our API. We have an active integration with QuoteWorks. Our QuickBooks, we have two kind of different levels of QuickBooks integration with QBTrack and various other integrations. So I invite you to engage your salesperson on your integration questions when you get that phone call. Also, David has asked what fees are involved in reoccurring credit card payments via your software. Jeff, I can kind of handle that one quickly, and you can maybe add on if I miss anything. We currently have integrations and partnerships with Vantiv or Mercury and B&G payment processing, and you can process your credit cards right inside TigerPaw with those groups, and so your fees are negotiated with those groups, and we can give you the contacts at those organizations once you come on board with us as well.
The only thing I would add on the credit card processing is I know that they've B&G and both Mercury have been very aggressive on their pricing. That they have given us our customers. They say that at the very least they will match what you're currently paying, but in many cases they can save what you're paying now for processing. One of the commitments that I know B&G came online first with this, that they said, you know, your customer's not going to pay more by going through us, and there's a good chance we can save them. So both Mercury and B&G have been very aggressive about being very competitive with the pricing so that you should not pay more at all than what you're paying, and they very well could save you some money over what you're paying for processing right now.
Yes. And also to note, with B&G, you have the option to process through ACH as well. And we just got a question in on whether we provide a hosted solution. We sell on-premise here at TigerPaw. We do have a third-party partner that we work with to provide a hosted solution, but we do not sell that directly out of TigerPaw. But like I said, that third-party option is very strong. We have many clients running hosted TigerPaw through that party. So I think that rounds out our questions for the day. If you have any additional questions, please email us at sales@tigerpaw.com or give us a ring at 800-704-9009. I want to thank everybody for attending today. Again, we'll be sending you a follow-up email with a recording so you can share this or watch it again. And I want to thank Jeff for presenting to you today.
My pleasure, Corey.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.